I found the feedback from uni completely different from the one in college.
Oh yeah, it's different.
College was a lot
It's
more helpful,
brutal. It is
whereas uni,
brutal.
like, no.
Yeah, it's really brutal.
But I think because the college prepare you for it,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's easier to take, easier to handle.
Like one of my last essays that I did for my second year, one of the comments I got was that I need to engage more with journals. The lady said to just go and read more journals, and I was thinking, yeah, it's brutal, but it helps, I suppose.
One of the differences I found was when doing essays, one of the big things learning in college was just answer the question. Don't go off on a tangent, don't waffle, just answer the question, get to the point. So taking that forward into university and doing an essay was really good. And then having each paragraph. So I would write a paragraph and reread it to make sure that each paragraph answered the main question. Each paragraph was relevant to the main question, that I wasn't including any information that wasn't needed. I wasn't going off down a different line in my research. So that was quite good, and that was obviously through feedback gained from the college through the humanities course. The feedback at Strathclyde is very basic and brutal. It's to the point. There is no, it's basically, this is what you've done wrong. There is no how to then improve it. It's next time, don't do this. So one of the things would be, I tend to cite the same way. So would say like Smith and Jones, 1999, state, blah, blah, blah. And I always include my reference at the start. With one of the feedback things was stop that. And I'd to phone my lecturer, no phone lecturer, Zoom the lecturer and say, what do you mean by just stop it? And they says, well, just change it about a bit. Like instead of doing it at the start, include it in the middle, write a paragraph, then cite it in brackets at the end, do a quotation with a cite. I don't like doing quotes. So that was fine. But in the actual written feedback, it's straight to the point and brutal. They don't advise you on how to change.
Yeah, so with the difference with feedback in college and what I have now is I feel like in college we had more support. The Our mistakes were explained better, but now with feedback in uni, I'm not saying there's no support, but it's less than it was in college. You are expected to go and maybe research on your mistakes independently. And also they always send us to the learning development, which is like a department that's actually there to help students maybe with writing and all that. So it's up to you now to go and find that help. And like the other example I said, one of the lecturers said to me, go and read more journals. So that was a comment I got in my last one of my last essays. So um I'm not sure, why I should go and read more journals, but I suppose there's something that was missing in my essay. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is with uni, it's you have to independently seek out help for the feedback. Whereas I feel like in college it was clearer. This is what you've done wrong and this is what you need to do about it. But in uni now I have to sort of try and figure it out myself that okay, there's clearly something I'm doing wrong, or there's clearly something I'm not writing properly. So I need to now try and seek out the help for that. So that's what I find different. Also, another thing that I was thinking while Gillian was speaking was that with feedback in uni, I think another tip that I found helps is see, after you get your essays and you read your feedback, go to another student. Like I've identified some students that I think normally get good marks in their essays, and read their essays and read their feedback and see what's different from what I did and from what they did, sort of, and then try and pick out the positive parts from there, and then try and replicate that for my next essays.
At our uni, it's the feedback's very detailed, and they do point out things you've done well and things you'd like you to keep doing, as well as obviously explaining what they think you could improve on. And we're all encouraged to go and see our tutor after we've done any assignments, and they will give it, like, you have a 5, 10, sometimes 15-minute meeting with them, and they will give you direct feedback. You can speak to them and ask them about what you've done wrong, where you've done well, what it could improve on, etc. for next time. Before COVID, that was very much, you had to make an appointment with them. They would have office hours, but they would extend those office hours because they knew they would have like an influx of students. So you would just make an appointment basically to go and see them on campus. Whereas now with COVID, you can still do that. It's probably easier, but it's just a virtual office hour. So, for example, their office hours are between 3 and 5 on a Thursday. You just need to make sure you're at your computer and try and join their meeting room, and then they'll just let you in to speak to them. And I found it very helpful.